Do you wake up in the morning and feel that something is missing? That fundamental signal, that quiet, powerful proof that your body is still firing on all cylinders. Ready for the day? For millions of men over 60, that morning silence is a painful reminder of a vitality that seems to have vanished. They feel a deep, unspoken sense of loss and quietly resign themselves to the idea that this is just the end of the line, a non-negotiable part of aging. They give up on intimacy, on a core part of their identity, and they do it alone in silence. But I am here today to tell you that this conclusion, this quiet surrender, is fundamentally wrong. Your body hasn't forgotten. It's just waiting for the right command to reawaken and feel fully alive again. I'm Dr. Megan Fisher, a specialist in men's health and longevity, and for years I've watched good, strong men accept a half-life they don't deserve. They come to me with a look of defeat, convinced that their best years are behind them. My mission is to shatter that belief with science, hope, and actionable strategies. We are building a community of men who refuse to become invisible, who are ready to take back control of their health and their manhood. I want you to be a part of this movement. Let me know where you're fighting this battle from by commenting with your city below. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel, because what I am about to share is a powerful secret that can reignite that lost spark starting tomorrow morning. The problem, you see, goes far beyond the bedroom. It begins with one night of failure, which plants a seed of fear. The next time, that fear transforms into performance anxiety, a crippling voice in your head that sabotages you before you even begin. This anxiety kills desire, and the lack of activity begins a cruel biological process. Your circulatory system, governed by the use it or lose it principle, starts to shut down pathways it deems unnecessary. Blood vessels in the pelvic region atrophy, and your body forgets the very mechanics of a firm, lasting erection. This physical decline creates an emotional chasm between you and your partner, replacing warmth and connection with a cold, unbearable distance, chipping away at your confidence and your dignity. But what if you saw this situation not as a final verdict, but as a warning light? Think of it as your body's check engine light coming on. It's not signaling that the engine is broken beyond repair. It's signaling that it's gone dormant and needs a specific kind of maintenance to reboot. This isn't a sign of irreversible decline. It is a critical message that your hormonal and circulatory systems are lacking the right signals to function optimally. It's a call to action, an opportunity to intervene and provide the precise catalyst needed to restart the entire system. The power to turn that engine back on, to restore your virility and reclaim your sense of self, is still within your grasp. It's not about fighting old age. It's about intelligently working with your body to restore its natural power. Let me tell you about a man I'll call Robert. At 71, a widower for 3 years, he had accepted a life of quiet solitude. He told me his home felt as empty as his spirit, a place filled with memories of a vibrant life he no longer recognized as his own. He was a good man, a retired engineer who had built bridges and raised a family, yet he felt his own internal structure had crumbled. The silence in his life was deafening, a constant reminder not just of his wife's absence, but of a fundamental part of his own identity that he believed was buried with her. He felt like a ghost in his own home, a spectator to a life that had moved on without him, leaving his sense of manhood behind. Robert recently met a wonderful woman, a fellow widow from his community group. For the first time in years, he felt a flicker of hope, a desire for companionship. But that hope was immediately extinguished by a wave of pure terror. The thought of intimacy, of being vulnerable with someone new, was paralyzing. What if he couldn't perform? What if he disappointed her? The fear of failure was so immense that he started avoiding her, making excuses not to meet for coffee, letting that potential for new happiness wither on the vine. He was sabotaging his own chance at connection, choosing guaranteed loneliness over the risk of shame, and he hated himself for it. His body's silence was dictating the terms of his emotional life. He would often sit in his favorite armchair, the one his wife had picked out, and remember what it felt like to be a man in his prime. He recalled the effortless confidence, the easy intimacy, the unspoken certainty that his body would answer when called upon. The contrast between that memory and his current reality was a source of profound, unspoken grief. It felt like a cruel joke of nature, to leave him with the memories and desires of a young man but the physical machinery of an old one. This disconnect was eating away at his soul, making him feel like an imposter in his own skin, a man whose best chapters were not only over, but had been torn from the book entirely. This wasn't just about the physical act of sex for Robert, it was about his core identity. An erection, for him, had always been a symbol of his vitality, his strength, his ability to connect deeply with the woman he loved. Losing it felt like losing his very essence, his asterisk manhood. He felt he had become invisible, not just to potential partners, but to himself. When he looked in the mirror, he no longer saw the capable, powerful man he once was. He saw a shell, a relic of a bygone era. This internal narrative of decay was far more damaging than the physical symptom itself, robbing him of his dignity and his will to engage with life. Robert's story is a testament to the profound isolation this condition creates. He represents the countless men who, after losing a partner or simply the passage of years, believe their time for intimacy, connection, and virility is definitively over. They don't fight it. They accept it as an unchangeable fate. They retreat from the world, from new relationships, from the very possibility of feeling whole again. They resign themselves to a quiet existence, convinced that this is just what it means to be a man their age. But this quiet surrender is a choice, not a necessity, and it's a choice based on a fundamental misunderstanding of how the male body is designed to function. Then there are men like David. At 68, he's been married to his wife Sarah for over 4 decades. They built a life together, raised children, and weathered every storm side by side. Yet, in the last few years, an invisible wall has risen between them, built brick by brick in the silence of their bedroom. David avoids going to bed at the same time as Sarah. He pretends to be asleep when she reaches for him. He knows she feels rejected, confused, and hurt. But the alternative, facing the possibility of failure, is a prospect he finds utterly unbearable. The love is still there, but it's being suffocated by a thick blanket of shame and fear that neither of them knows how to lift. He sees the question in her eyes every day, even when she says nothing. It's a look of gentle concern mixed with a deep, unspoken disappointment that cuts him to the core. She tries to be understanding, telling him it doesn't matter, but they both know it does. Intimacy was the glue that held them together during the toughest times, their shared language of comfort and connection. Without it, they've become polite roommates, sharing a history but not a present. David feels like a fraud, a man who can no longer fulfill the most basic role of a husband. Every night is a fresh reminder of his inadequacy, a quiet torment that poisons his days and haunts his sleep. For David, the problem is no longer just physical, it has become a brutal mental battle. The performance anxiety is a relentless voice in his head, a cruel narrator that predicts his failure before he even touches his wife. It whispers that he's too old, that his body is broken, that he's going to let her down again. This psychological pressure is so intense that it kills any spark of desire before it can even ignite. He is trapped in a vicious cycle. The fear of failing causes him to fail, and each failure deepens the fear for the next time. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy that has taken complete control of his intimate life, leaving him feeling powerless and defeated. This constant sense of failure has bled into every other aspect of his life. He feels less confident at his part-time consulting job, more irritable with his grandchildren, and disconnected from his own sense of self-worth. He believes he has let Sarah down in the most profound way a man can, and this belief is eroding the foundation of their 40-year partnership. He is grieving the loss of the man he used to be, the confident partner, the passionate lover, the man his wife could count on. This single issue has become the lens through which he views his entire life, coloring everything with a shade of disappointment and regret. His dignity feels like it is slipping through his fingers. David's experience is the silent reality for millions of men in committed, long-term relationships. They are not alone, but they feel desperately so. They suffer in silence, believing their struggle is a personal failing rather than a common and treatable biological issue. The loss of physical intimacy creates an emotional chasm that can feel impossible to cross, breeding resentment, loneliness, and misunderstanding. But what men like David and Robert need to understand is that their bodies are not failing them. Their body's internal communication system has simply gone dormant, and it is waiting for the right signal to power back on and feel fully alive again. These stories are heartbreaking, but they are not life sentences. The issue is not that these men are broken or that their time has passed. The problem is that the body's intricate signaling system, responsible for creating a firm and lasting erection, has been disrupted. Think of it as a complex orchestra where two key musicians have stopped playing their part, throwing the entire performance into chaos. These two musicians are a molecule called nitric oxide and the hormone testosterone. When they work in harmony, the result is effortless virility. When they fall silent, the entire system grinds to a halt, leaving a man feeling frustrated and powerless. Let's first talk about nitric oxide. This is not some exotic chemical. It's a simple, powerful gas molecule your own body produces. Its primary job in this context is to act as the master signal for blood flow. When your brain sends a signal of arousal, your blood vessels are supposed to produce nitric oxide. This molecule then tells the smooth muscles of the arteries in the penis to relax and open wide, allowing a surge of blood to rush in and create a firm erection. It is the gatekeeper of your erectile function. Without a sufficient amount of nitric oxide, the gates remain closed, no matter how strong the desire is. The message is sent, but nobody is there to open the door. Unfortunately, as we age, our body's natural ability to produce nitric oxide declines significantly. By the time a man reaches his 60s and 70s, his production can be less than half of what it was in his 20s. The endothelial lining of the blood vessels, where this molecule is synthesized, can become damaged by years of inflammation, poor diet, or lack of use. The signal gets weaker, the response becomes slower, and eventually it can fade away altogether. It's like a light switch that has become rusty and corroded over time. You can keep flicking it, but the connection is too weak to turn the light on, leaving you in the dark. The second critical player in this orchestra is testosterone. We often think of testosterone purely in terms of sex drive, and while it is essential for libido, its role is far more fundamental. Testosterone is the very time of fuel for your entire masculine system. It influences everything from your energy levels and mood to your muscle mass and mental clarity. In the context of erections, it sensitizes the nerve receptors and supports the production of nitric oxide. It is the high-octane fuel that ensures the entire engine is running smoothly and is ready to respond with power and intensity when you turn the key. Without adequate fuel, the most sophisticated engine will sputter and stall. The cruel reality is that testosterone levels also naturally decline with age, a process often called andropause. This decline creates a devastating 1-2 punch. First, your desire, the initial psychological impulse for intimacy, begins to wane. Second, the physical machinery becomes less responsive due to testosterone's role in supporting the nitric oxide pathway. This combination creates that perfect storm of dysfunction, where you don't feel the drive, and even if you did, the body struggles to respond. This is the biological trap that so many men fall into, leading them to believe that their virility is gone for good, when in fact, the core systems are just starved of their essential resources. But here is the secret, the piece of the puzzle that changes everything. There is a specific time of day, a golden hour, when your body is uniquely primed to receive new instructions and reboot these dormant systems. This window of opportunity is the first hour after you wake up, while you are still in a fasted state. During this period, your body is not busy digesting food, and your insulin levels are at their lowest point of the day. This creates a state of incredible hormonal and cellular receptivity. It's a biological clean slate, a moment of profound potential to reset your internal chemistry and reawaken your masculine power. Think of your body's signaling system like a radio. Throughout the day, as you eat meals, experience stress, and go about your life, there is a lot of static on the line. Hormonal signals from insulin and cortisol can interfere with the delicate messages your body is trying to send and receive. It's hard for the right command to get through all that noise. But in the morning, after a night of fasting and repair, the channel is crystal clear. There is no static. It is the perfect time to broadcast a powerful, targeted signal directly to your circulatory and hormonal systems, a signal they can hear loud and clear. This isn't just a theory. It's based on hard science. Groundbreaking research from leading institutions like Harvard Medical School has explored how the fasted state dramatically impacts hormonal signaling and nutrient absorption. When your body is in this state, it is in repair and recovery mode. It is far more sensitive to specific nutrients and stimuli that can trigger powerful biological cascades. We are going to leverage this scientific principle to our advantage. We are going to use this clear channel to send a direct message to your body. It is time to rebuild, to restore blood flow, and to reignite the production of the very elements that define your virility and confidence. What I am about to share with you is not a magic pill or a complicated medical procedure. It is a simple, powerful morning habit I call the sunrise ritual. It's a 3-step process designed to use this golden hour to systematically restart your body's natural erectile machinery. This ritual is a deliberate act of taking back control. It is you consciously providing your body with the precise catalysts it needs to wake up from its slumber and function as it was designed to. It's about working with your body's natural rhythms, not against them, to create a profound and lasting transformation from the inside out. Let's walk through this ritual together. It is elegant in its simplicity, yet each step is based on a specific biological principle designed to create a cascading effect of restoration. The entire process takes less than 10 minutes, but its impact, when performed consistently every morning, will compound over time. You are not just addressing a symptom, you are rebuilding the entire system from the ground up. You are laying a new foundation for renewed vitality, confidence, and a powerful sense of self. This is your personal declaration that you refuse to accept a life of decline and are actively reclaiming your dignity and your manhood. The very first step, performed the moment you get out of bed, is what I call activation hydration. The first substance you introduce to your body after a night of fasting sends a powerful signal to your entire system. We will begin with a simple glass of warm water. Forget cold water, which can be a shock to your system and cause vasoconstriction. Warm water is gentle. It helps to relax and dilate your blood vessels and gently awakens your digestive tract, preparing it to efficiently absorb the crucial nutrients that are to follow. It's like warming up an engine before you ask it to perform. To this warm water, you will add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. This is not merely for flavor. Lemon juice provides a natural source of vitamin C and bioflavonoids, powerful antioxidants that help protect and repair the delicate endothelial lining of your blood vessels. This is the very lining where nitric oxide is produced. By starting your day with this, you are providing your circulatory system with the materials it needs to heal itself, making it more efficient and responsive. You are essentially cleaning and servicing the very factory that produces the key to your erections, ensuring it can operate at peak capacity. The final ingredient in this activation drink is a tiny, almost imperceptible pinch of cayenne pepper. You should barely be able to taste it. Cayenne contains a compound called capsaicin, which is a potent natural vasodilator and circulatory stimulant. It creates a gentle, warming sensation that helps to get your blood moving from your core all the way to your extremities. It acts as a gentle nudge, a command to your circulatory system to wake up and start delivering oxygen and nutrients throughout your body. This simple, 3-ingredient drink is the first signal of the day. It's the key turning in the ignition, preparing the entire system for what comes next. This simple concoction does more than just hydrate you. It is a strategic first move. It's a powerful, intentional signal sent through that clear morning channel, telling your body, it is time to wake up. It is time for blood to flow. Prepare for action. This single glass of water sets the stage, priming your entire circulatory highway for the vital cargo it is about to receive. You are creating the perfect internal environment for maximum absorption and impact, ensuring that the next step of the ritual is not wasted and can perform its job with maximum efficiency. Every part of this process is deliberate and builds upon the last. Now we move to the second and most critical step, delivering the key nutrient. With your circulatory system primed and your digestive tract awake and receptive, it is time to provide the raw, essential building blocks your body needs to create powerful, spontaneous erections. I am talking about 2 specific, naturally occurring amino acids, L-arginine and its partner, L-citrulline. These are not drugs. They are the direct precursors your body uses to synthesize nitric oxide. You are not forcing a chemical reaction. You are simply giving your body an abundance of the exact materials it has been craving. When you take a quality L-arginine and L-citrulline supplement on a completely empty stomach, right after your activation hydration, something remarkable happens. Without any food to compete with for absorption, these amino acids are taken up rapidly and efficiently into your bloodstream. L-arginine is the direct fuel for nitric oxide production, but L-citrulline is its secret weapon. Your body converts L-citrulline into more L-arginine over time, creating a sustained release effect that keeps your nitric oxide levels elevated for hours. It's a two-stage rocket, providing an immediate boost and a long-lasting supply of this vital molecule. This step is like delivering a tanker of high-octane fuel directly to a starved engine. You are replenishing the very resource that has been depleted by age and lifestyle. This flood of precursors allows your body to overcome the natural decline in nitric oxide production, effectively repairing that rusty, corroded switch we talked about. The signal for vasodilation becomes strong, clear, and undeniable once again. Your blood vessels regain their youthful elasticity and responsiveness. You are giving your body the power to open the floodgates on command, restoring the powerful, natural mechanism that has been dormant for years. This isn't about creating an artificial response. It's about restoring a natural one. You are not hijacking your body's chemistry. You are supporting it. You are providing the essential tools it needs to do the job it has simply forgotten how to do. This influx of nitric oxide precursors is the most powerful signal you can send to your circulatory system. It is a definitive statement that the period of decline is over and the new era of function and vitality is beginning. This step alone can be transformative, but when combined with the final step, its power is amplified, creating a truly holistic revival of your masculine power. The third and final step of the sunrise ritual is what I call ignition breathing. Now that you have the circulatory system primed and flooded with the building blocks for nitric oxide, the final piece is to physically direct that enriched blood flow to the pelvic region and reawaken the dormant neural pathways. This is where you reestablish the crucial mind-body connection that is so often lost. This is not a strenuous workout. It is a focused, 5-minute meditative practice that acts like a powerful pump, concentrating all that renewed potential exactly where you need it most. Here's how it works. Find a comfortable seated or lying position. Close your eyes and begin to take slow, deep, diaphragmatic breaths. Breathe in through your nose, allowing your belly to expand fully, and exhale slowly through your mouth. As you inhale deeply, I want you to gently squeeze and lift the muscles of your pelvic floor, the same muscles you would use to stop the flow of urination midstream. Hold this gentle contraction for a count of 3 as you hold your breath, and then release it completely as you exhale. You are not clenching, you are gently engaging and releasing. This simple, rhythmic action of breathing and contracting does 2 incredibly important things. First, it acts as a physical pump, manually drawing the nitric oxide-rich blood into the intricate network of vessels in the penis. You are actively encouraging circulation in an area that may have been stagnant for years. Second, and just as importantly, you are firing up dormant nerve endings. You are sending a direct, conscious signal from your brain to your pelvis, reminding that entire area of its primary function and reinforcing the neural pathways required for a strong erectile response. You are, in essence, reteaching your body the mechanics of an erection. For many men, the connection between their mind and their sexual response has been broken by anxiety and failure. This practice patiently and gently rebuilds that bridge. It is a quiet, powerful conversation with your own body. With each breath and contraction, you are saying, I am here. I am in control. Wake up. This 5-minute practice concentrates all the benefits of the first 2 steps, ensuring that the renewed blood flow and nitric oxide are put to immediate and effective use, awakening the system with a gentle yet undeniable tonic spark. This complete ritual, from the first sip of warm water to the final exhale of ignition breathing, takes less than 10 minutes of your morning. But do not underestimate its power. This is not a quick fix. It is a fundamental system reboot. Each step builds upon the last, creating a synergistic effect that addresses the root causes of erectile dysfunction, poor circulation, low nitric oxide, and a broken mind-body connection. It is a daily investment in your own vitality, a commitment to rebuilding your masculine health from the cellular level up. It is a profound act of self-respect. Imagine starting every day not with a sense of loss or anxiety, but with a deliberate, empowering action. This ritual becomes a declaration. It is your statement to yourself and to the world that you are not defined by a number. You are a vital, powerful man who is in control of his health and his destiny. You are actively rewriting the narrative of aging, replacing the story of decline with a story of renewal and strength. This daily practice rebuilds not only your physical function, but also your confidence, your self-esteem, and your sense of what is possible for your life. This is precisely how men like Robert and David began to turn the tide. They stopped seeing their bodies as adversaries and start treating them as partners in a process of healing. They discover that the power to feel virile and alive was never truly gone. It was simply dormant, waiting for the right set of commands to be reawakened. They find that first, the morning erections begin to return, that quiet, powerful proof that the system is back online. Then, with that newfound confidence, they feel the stirrings of desire, free from the crushing weight of anxiety. This is about so much more than sex. It is about reclaiming a fundamental part of your identity. It is about looking your partner in the eye with confidence and love, not shame and fear. It's about having the energy and zest for life to chase your grandchildren, to take on a new hobby, to travel, to feel fully engaged in the world. It's about restoring your dignity. The sunrise ritual is the key that unlocks the door to this renewed life, proving that the engine of your masculinity wasn't broken. It just needed the right spark to roar back to life. Your body is not broken. It was simply waiting in standby mode, a powerful engine that had gone dormant because it stopped receiving the right signals. The sunrise ritual you've learned today is the asterisk spark it has been waiting for, the precise command needed to turn that engine back on and feel its power thrum through you once more. This is not about forcing a temporary result. It is about a fundamental and lasting reboot of your natural systems. It's a declaration that you are no longer a passive observer of your body's decline. You are the one in the driver's seat, consciously and intelligently providing the fuel and the ignition needed to restore your own vitality. This is the moment you stop accepting limitations and start reclaiming your innate masculine power, one morning at a time. This journey is about so much more than the mechanics of sex. It is about restoring your dignity. It's about the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your body is a reliable partner, ready to respond. It's about looking in the mirror and recognizing the strong, capable, and vital man you have always been, a man who is whole and complete. When you reclaim this physical aspect of your identity, you reclaim a piece of your very soul. The fear and shame that have built walls between you and your partner, or prevented you from seeking new connections, begin to crumble. You are not just restoring an erection, you are restoring your sense of self-worth and your right to feel fully and powerfully alive. Understand this. Your sexuality after 60 is not a frivolous luxury. It is a fundamental pillar of your overall health, your identity, and your longevity. The same systems that govern your erectile function, your circulation, and your hormonal balance also govern your energy levels, your mood, your heart health, and your mental clarity. When you actively work to restore your virility, you are simultaneously enhancing every other aspect of your life. You are choosing a future filled with more energy, deeper connection, and a profound sense of purpose. You are making a powerful investment in a longer, healthier, and happier life, proving that your best years are not behind you, but are waiting to be lived with renewed passion. Do not let this powerful knowledge end with you. There are millions of good men suffering in silence, just as you may have been. Share this video with a friend, a brother, or anyone you know who deserves to hear this message of hope. Subscribe to Life After 65 and become part of a growing community of men who refuse to become invisible, who are actively rewriting the rules of aging. This is a movement, and your voice matters. Comment below with the one thing from this video that gave you the most hope. Let's start a conversation. Together, we are redefining what it means to be a man, proving that strength, vitality, and to a no womanhood have no expiration date.